Hi Tiffany, am I audible?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm Lokesh, the one who mailed you about this interview.
Yes, nice to
And
meet you.
yeah. And there is a startup from my team who will be asking you some tech industry related questions. Hi startup.
Perfect.
Okay. So how's your communication classes going?
They're going good, thank you. I had one yesterday and they've been good. They've been challenging but rewarding, so can't complain.
Yeah, I just saw your story.
How's
So
your day going?
yeah, it's great. Actually, it's night. I'm working from home
Okay.
from India.
Nice, nice. So you're
Yeah,
ready. So you're how many hours ahead are you? What I work with some people from India.
maybe 10 hours.
10 hours.
10.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
So, Tiffany, I'm guessing that COVID-19 has given you the much needed boost to your social media career. Is it right?
It's definitely been a big help in the sense that, more people are now at home on their phones. And in turn, because they're on social media it's definitely been a boost as far as more people have found me to connect with me.
Yeah. And I have this habit to stalk the social media profile of the people who I'm going to interview. And obviously, I
Yeah.
was doing the same for you. And that was when I stumbled upon a picture of yours that was, I guess, way back from 2015. So I'm gonna give you some time to look and remember
For
what was the
sure.
occasion of the picture, and if you don't mind, you can let us know the story behind it.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, I hope you can see this.
It's loading. Oh yeah. So that was in Toronto,
Okay,
um, 2015. That was in downtown Toronto.
okay. And what was that like? You were stepping in the fashion world or something else? Like you are saying that there is going to launch and all that.
For sure. So to give you a bit of context, my social media, like this photo, I initially was in fashion before I got into the tech industry. So in that photo, I was going to Toronto Fashion Week, so checking out some different fashion shows with a few friends.
Okay. And yeah, so as you said that you were in fashion industry before then, I have seen people from fashion or entertainment industry to go to the
Mhm.
no, I'm sorry. I've seen people from tech industry to go to the fashion or entertainment industry, but in your case, this was vice versa, right? So
Yes.
yeah, this is obviously a different path as you have a clear path ahead of you in the fashion industry, and obviously you have graduation completed of yours. So how come you chose the unexpected? Why did you decide to attend that coding boot camp?
Yeah, for sure. So how I decided to go from fashion to technology essentially.
Yeah.
So the reason being was, I had a great experience in the fashion industry. I met some wonderful people throughout it, but I was kind of feeling stuck in the sense that I didn't feel like personally or even my skills were growing. I felt like and there's some people who excel so much in that industry. I just didn't feel like it was for me. It wasn't clicking. And
Okay.
it was in my last year of university. It was required to take a very basic coding course. And
Okay.
I would have never had considered or didn't know anything about it up until that point. And because it was required, though, I had to take the course. And I really fell in love with it. It was really wonderful to be able to see that building things and then coming to life, being able to use creativity but also logic, and that's kind of the point that I decided to make. I knew I wanted to get into the tech industry.
Yeah. So how was the transition period like? I think yeah, fashion is quite stressful. I know, but the level of stress in tech is in a different level. So how did you cope up with the in the few first weeks?
Oh gosh, yeah, it was definitely stressful at first, and there are still times where it can be stressful. That's just, you know, the industry, and it's how you kind of navigate it. But when I first started getting into tech, how I handled the stress was trying to find a community of people who were already in the tech industry to support me. So I just started reaching out to some people in Toronto where I live I saw on LinkedIn that were in tech, and just asking to take them out for coffee, connect with them, ask them questions. And that really helped me finding that support group to connect with. And if I had any questions, they could kind of help with.
Okay. So the boot camp that you attended, where you are today, I don't think that you would be here if you had gone from proper computer science degree. Majorly because the coding boot camp introduced you to the startup culture. Is that right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think one thing the coding boot camp really did was, because the coding boot camp gave me an opportunity, because I already went to university, so I didn't want to go back again. I just graduated from university, so it gave me a chance to still get into the tech industry. After I already had gone to university, it gave me a chance to meet other people who are switching careers and breaking into that industry too.
Okay. So when was the first time that you thought that no, I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to make different tech.
It was during my coding boot camp that I decided to get into YouTube and in the social media world. And the reason behind it was because I wanted to support others who were, considering getting into technology or breaking into these industries, and maybe not coming from traditional backgrounds with computer science, that they too can still be in these industries.
Yeah. So how do you manage it? Like, you are having a full-time career of tech consultant, right? My sister is also in the same field. She's also a tech consultant in FICO. So I know it's quite hectic. And then you are having 100,000 followers of Instagram page and the YouTube page also. And then you have obviously a social life with Paul and your little family. So how did you manage all that? How do you?
Some days it's quite hectic, but the reality is, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, my priority is my day job, my software developer job. So I have to have content prepared the night before or a few days ahead for the weeks. So usually right now what I do is I spend a bit of my Saturdays working on this to make quite a bit of content, and then Sundays are a complete rest day. And then now I have some people who help me behind the scenes with things like editing, with the business side of it. So that really alleviates a lot of my time there too.
So you have a website of different tech, and for the, you have merge of different tech. So what's the future that you have thought of the different tech? Like, it would be a coaching for the ones who want to go into the tech, or what? What do you want to do with the different tech?
For the immediate future, I want to continue just supporting people to get into the industry, to consider STEM industries as a whole. For the long-term future, not this year, but behind the scenes, what I'm working on is I'm hoping to eventually introduce some coding courses or coding academy, things that will help people with their technical skills at a larger scale. But of course, that requires a lot of time. So it's just kind of going on behind the scenes. But for the immediate future, just continuing on the path I'm on.
Don't you think sometimes that let's leave the job and give my full time to different tech?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course I do. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go.
Okay, so we can assume that you are planning to leave the job?
No. I love my job. It's wonderful. And, I just take life day by day.
Okay. Okay, Sarthak, you can ask some industry related questions. I'm not quite familiar with them.
For sure.
Sarthak?
Hello. Yep. Hi. Am I audible, Tiffany?
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good. I hope you're not boring you.
No, this is wonderful. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Good to hear about you, you know. So like I'll just start with it. I was going through your profile on Instagram and like I I follow a lot of content creators, but like for the first time I saw a content creator who was the content was tech related, you know. So like is it there's a common impression about coders and web developers that they're geeks, you know, the content is extremely nerdy.
Yeah.
So, which is ironical when I first saw your profile. So, are you somehow trying to change the perception for techies subconsciously, maybe making it look more fun for people, for newbies, I guess, or people who are not into tech? What do you think about it?
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I just want to show that, you know, to kind of break, as you mentioned, those stereotypes that, no matter what background you
Yeah,
come from or what interests you have, there can be, if you're interested in technology, a role or a space for you. That, you don't have to come from a specific background to get into the industry, and definitely trying to break some of those stereotypes.
that's great to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah, your profile also talks about it a lot. Like, you know, you're giving book recommendations, you're following all the latest trends which other content creators do, which is really interesting to see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's
Um,
been a lot of fun.
Facebook announced this. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it must be. There's something new to see on Instagram where everyone is, you know, just entertaining people, but the information is not there in
Mhm.
magazine creators.
Because there are lots of positives, but then there are lots of negatives.
Obviously, yeah. And Instagram is coming up with Instagram Kids, and like these all guys are trying to make kid-friendly platforms where so that they can divert the audience a bit, which I guess is necessary
Oh,
to do.
I haven't heard about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Uh, Being in the tech industry, what do you think about the future? I mean, what do you think? Like we saw the rise of Bitcoin recently and the bizarre NFTs which is being sold in the market,
Mhm.
And what do you think about is going to be the next big thing? Like the self-driven cars now, where are we going to in next 10 years or something?
I know it's very interesting. I think the next 10 years, it's so hard to predict because the reality is, as we've all seen, tech is growing at such a fast pace. So, for what we predict will happen in 10 years, at this rate, maybe those predictions will be achieved in 5 years or even shorter. So I try and not give specific predictions, but rather try and just be open to the technologies as they come. And it's just really mind blowing to see how quickly they continue to evolve. But definitely, I don't know in what number of years, but definitely, of course, down the road, self-driving cars. I think that will be a huge topic of interest as it continues to go in that direction. Hello.
Okay, speaking of Bitcoin, I was wondering if you will be buying a Tesla car with Bitcoin, as Elon Musk just recently tweeted.
Well, I'm not buying a Tesla car anytime soon. And as far as Bitcoin goes, we have bought some, but we're not majorly going down that path. I'll say that. But it's one of those things that you just don't know what's going to happen. So um, I don't know what to say. It's going to be interesting to see, but no Tesla in the next year or so, anyways. But it would be nice.
Hmm. So you are the one who knows the tech most among us, right? And buying a bit, buying a Tesla or buying a car with a buying anything with a Bitcoin is quite an absurd idea according to me because its rate every day changes. Like
Mm.
someone in comment of Elon Musk's tweet he has said that then tomorrow you can buy something from potato because the rate every day changes. So how do you think that it will be regulated if there is a possibility of buying something from Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
You know what? Honestly, I don't consider myself an expert in crypto or Bitcoin, so I don't have a specific answer to that. I think for in crypto and Bitcoin, I'm just along for the ride. I'm interested to see how it's regulated and navigated through all that. But I don't. I'm not sure how it will be. I'm just kind of an observer for that.
We all are experts.
Yeah. Right.
Speaking about Elon Musk, Tiffany, what's your opinion on Elon Musk? I mean, he's been bizarrely famous on Twitter. Like people just wait for him to bomb something on Instagram or Twitter, and then people going nuts over his tweets. So
I
what do you
know.
think about him?
I don't, I mean, I'm not someone who spends a lot of time, following celebrities or things like that. So I think he obviously
Mhm.
is, doing really amazing things in his field of work. But I don't, follow him on Twitter or anything like that. But he seems like he definitely knows how to get a rise out of people and spark some interest in people as well. So it's interesting to see people's reactions.
Yeah, it was interesting you tagged him as a celebrity. I mean, he's an entrepreneur, but like he's a celebrity,
He
he's
is
kind
so
of in
many
the tech
people.
industry and everything, but
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, yeah, he's a celebrity. Yeah. Um, we have so much of content available these days on every social media platform, and like there are various studies which focuses on how decreased the attention span is for like people of my generation, like your generation, the generation which is coming in. What do you think about it? Like how necessary is to have a digital detox, to get off these platforms and
Mm.
spend some time with yourself, trying to just instead of consuming all these random content.
Yeah, I think it's so important. I think it's an for our mental health as well. You have to step away. For myself, what I do is on the weekends I have my content pre-planned and ready, like scheduled. So Saturday and Sunday, even if I'm doing work for Tiffin Tech, I'm not on social media as much, which especially on Sunday. And I find it, I don't realize how much I need it until I do it. And then you feel so much more refreshed and energized. So I think it's really important to be aware of how much time we're spending on these platforms.
Obviously, yes. Yeah, it sounds a good idea to do it on weekends. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
spend some time with yourself or your loved ones, family. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a video on your YouTube where you were suggesting some books to read. Uh, do you have any sort of advice for these budding content creators or techies? Some book recommendations for people to follow. Individuals to look out for.
Oh, you know what? Let me see. Well, one of my favorite ones, which I speak about quite a bit, but I just think it's great for the entrepreneur side of things, but also, the technical side of things, is called Zero to One by author Peter Thiel. And he talks about how I believe it was I believe it was how he started PayPal, and the evolution of that. And it just goes through the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur. And it's just really interesting to hear from someone so successful, both their not only successes but their failures too. That was one of my favorite books.
So, anything you want to ask from us, or anything that you want to say to the audience related to tech or something?
No, my main goal with Tiffin Tech is to continue to inspire and encourage others to break into tech or really STEM fields, to not feel that, they have to come from a specific education or background, that to really make tech accessible to all and that everyone can find a place in the industry.